In housing, average rates for 30-year mortgages down to 3.91%, so staying under 4% for the second consecutive week. Home prices, though, hitting all-time highs in 15 states, rising 6.5% year over year in June, according to CoreLogic. Well, staying with housing, some companies allow you to buy a house by renting it first, even if you have less than perfect credit. CEO of Home Partners of America, Bill Young, is here. Bill, glad to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you have, it almost feels like a car leasing model, except it's for houses. So to what extent does it make you nervous to help people who couldn't get a mortgage, and I'm assuming for some good reason?
Well, our clients, for a variety of reasons, some are nervous and are not comfortable actually getting into or buying a home today. And then there's some people that we think are wonderful clients and have proved to be so, that want to get into a great community with good schools and just can't get access to mortgage credit today. Mortgage credit remains very tight. People that have come into our program, we've invested about $800 million, have performed very, very well, above my expectations.
Well, I do know, to your point, and we all remember this headline, Ben Bernanke, former chairman of the Fed, actually couldn't get a mortgage because he was on a government salary and it was low. It's ridiculous. He makes a lot of money in speaking fees and advisory fees, but it wasn't on the books.
Right. You know, there's a set of criteria that if you fit within that criteria, you have access to a mortgage, and the rates, as you've pointed out recently, are very attractive. But if you're not within the definition of what a good mortgage is, it's very hard for a lot of good consumers to get access to credit today.
And I understand the confidence question as well, where if you have millennials, and we've been talking about this how difficult it is for some people to find jobs, and maybe they have a contract for 3 years, they do not want to sign a 30-year mortgage. That's
right. And so what we do, I mean, very quickly, as you pointed out, what we do is we let somebody apply to us. They can pick the house they want to live in. They rent it. They sign a 1-year lease. There's a lot of flexibility. They can leave after a year, but then they have the right to buy it at any time during that year. And then they have the opportunity to extend that lease up to 3 or 5 years, depending on the market. So the good news is that if for some reason there is a problem and there's a change of life circumstance, maybe a couple splits or somebody loses their job, we're not going to ruin their credit again, right? We're gonna work with them, and hopefully they'll get into another house that kind of fits what their family needs are at the time.
So, Bill, what is in it for you? What is in it for Home Partners of America? Are you charging more than a bank would charge?
No, so we take a lot of data and we get down to very, very local levels of school districts, and we try to make sure that our rents are very competitive with other single-family homes that are available for rent in those communities. And the way we make money is we're charging something very close to a market rent. We hope it's market rent, but it's very hard to price a single-family rental. And then we're aligned with the consumer. We want them to buy the house. So what's neat is if they pay their lease on time for 12 or 24 months, that's a wonderful indication that they actually have the capacity to buy that house. And in the future, we're going to work very hard to help our clients get a mortgage so they can succeed.
Bill Young, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Cool idea. Home Partners of America CEO Bill Young joining me there.